Forever chemicals have infected practically all of our water supply, with nearly all Americans, including newborn babies, carrying PFAS in their bloodstream. But if you thought forever chemicals were the end of it, oh, you're so sadly mistaken. Here's the other thing you have to understand about our tap water system. It's that a lot of that tap water that comes out of your faucet comes from recycled toilet water. Yes, that's right. Whatever you excrete out into your toilet gets flushed down the drain, into a water treatment facility, and back into your tap water. Which is all fine and dandy if these water treatment facilities could actually filter out everything. But unfortunately, they can't. Most municipalities just don't have the technology to filter out every single random chemical out there, which is a problem because Americans take a lot of drugs. 60% of Americans over the age of 18 take at least one type of pharmaceutical drug. And antibiotic use has skyrocketed to 270 million prescriptions per year. Birth control pills, narcotics, antibiotics, Prozac, all these substances that contain a whole cocktail of chemical compounds, hormones, and other things that alter our bodies are all getting excreted straight into your tap water.
The other worrisome thing about tap water is most of the filtration systems used in municipalities do not get rid of antibiotics in water, and I can guarantee you that they are in almost all of our commercial water systems.
And the effects of drinking this random mix of pharmaceuticals is pretty terrifying. Scientists have done studies on fish who swim in this drug-filled sewage water, and they found that the male fish were showing signs of feminization, and some were even being born intersexed. The scientists also found residues of antidepressants like Prozac, Celexa, and Zoloft in the brains of some of the fish.
There's something happening to the rainbow darter, a tiny fish that lives in the rivers of southern Ontario. If they're downstream from a sewage treatment plant, the male fish turn into females. What's causing the males to develop eggs? Human hormones, residue from prescription drugs that are flushed into the river.
If you expose them to wastewater, they will feminize. They will have eggs in the testes.
But it's not just the fish. Philadelphia tap water contains 56 different pharmaceutical drugs. Southern California water has high amounts of both anti-epileptic and anti-anxiety medication. Whatever medications your neighbors are taking, you are too. And you might be thinking, well, okay, I'll just stick to bottled water then. Bottled water isn't too bad, right? Well, think again. Look on any bottled water label and you will find words like pure, purified, life. But these bottled waters are far from pure, and they are definitely not giving you life. See, whenever you see anything along the lines of purified water on a bottle of water, that's just a rosy sounding name for American municipal tap water that you have to pay 3,000% more for. In a recent study, it was found that 1/3 of American bottled water brands contain chemical contaminants that exceed recommended levels. And apparently, as long as these bottled water companies don't go over the maximum levels of contaminants listed by the EPA, the water can be sold. That's right. These companies are literally just filling up plastic bottles with tap water and reselling it to you for 3,000% the price. And if there's a sprinkle of PFAS or pharmaceuticals, that's just fine, as long as it's technically under the limit. Even spring water bottles aren't safe. Companies like Starkey Spring Water contain 3 times more arsenic than other brands. Poland Spring contains PFAS. And what about luxury water brands like Evian that comes from the French Alps, or Fiji water from the rainforests of Fiji, slowly filtered by volcanic rock? These waters are famous for being the purest of the pure. And for the most part, the water itself is not half bad. But these brands are sold in plastic bottles. Plastic bottles that are repeatedly heated and cooled during the manufacturing and shipping process. These plastic bottles also leak a pesky little chemical called phthalates into your water. And phthalates are known to block the production of androgen, the male hormone that produces testosterone. Plastic bottles also used to contain BPA, a chemical in plastic that has an almost identical structure to human hormones. And BPA has been in our plastic bottles for decades. But in 2008, scientists found out that it is extremely toxic, even in low doses, and can lead to things like severe birth defects, abnormally sized genitalia, and infertility. And when the bottled water companies found out about this, they immediately switched over to a different chemical called BPS. A seemingly noble move, until studies showed that BPS is pretty much the same as BPA.
It's still possible to get a BPA bottle. Most of them have been replaced with BPS bottles, but now the evidence is that BPS acts exactly like BPA. So my opinion is try not to drink a bottled water that comes in a plastic container.
Yes, they did the old switcheroo that major corporations love to do when their chemicals get called out. But now they get to slap a BPA free on their labels so everyone trusts them again, when in reality, they simply replace BPA with another kind of the same chemical.